Welcome to the Aetherochemical Research Facility. This is Rin from Savage Cat Punch, and I will help you get through this dungeon. We're starting off today with our portraits of the day and the dungeon map. Please pause here if you'd like to get a look at these stopping points for your wall-to-wall pulls. Please note that the Ascians don't want us to have any fun, so there are no treasure chests in this dungeon. Tanks, be mindful of the second pull before the first boss. After you take care of the initial set, 2 more sets of monsters will spawn around the square arena, so be sure to aggro them quickly. After the first boss, you'll need to deal with 2 bioculture nodes. These monsters will come to you, so tanks, don't go chasing after them. Stay close to your healer in case they aggro them first, and grab them as they draw close. The cultured Nagas will turn you to stone if you stand in their AoEs while looking at them, and the cultured Chimera will use Dragon's Voice or Ram's Voice, which paralyze or freeze respectively. This can be interrupted, so be sure to use your interrupt skills on them and burn them down. You deal with this Chimera the same as most though, moving close to it for Dragon's Voice and getting out of melee range for Ram's Voice to dodge the AoEs and their effects. After the second boss, you'll be dodging a lot of AoEs on an elevator. Then you'll find yourself facing quite a few Conjurers and Thaumaturges. The Thaumaturge enemies can cast Break Gut, which will turn anyone caught in the small blast to stone for a few seconds. Be mindful if you see the cast and try to stun them. Regula von Hydrus will summon turrets around the arena that will fire delayed line or circular AoEs at targeted players. At the same time, the boss will jump around and fire Magitech slugs, which are his own delayed line AoEs. After the 2 sets of adds have been dealt with, Hydrus will jump again and use Magitech spread, covering most of the arena in purple. Get behind him to dodge this cleave. Harmachis will regularly cast Weighing of the Heart, changing its form throughout the battle. It will change into a Cobra first, cleaving the tank with hood swing. It will then change into a Naga, so make sure to look away before the cast bar for petrifaction completes. It immediately casts 2 fire AoEs on random players after this, so you can spread out lightly to avoid splashing your party, but it doesn't do too much damage. The boss's Machina form is the deadly one to watch out for. 1 player will be locked into a ballistic missile and be unable to move. A marker will appear above their head with a certain number of orbs. If it is 2, as you see here, 2 total people, no more and no less, should be within the AoE to avoid high damage. The boss will then revert back to its original Sphinx form, which occasionally throws out a tank buster and a removable poison debuff. Lahabrea and Igeyorm will begin the battle with a Shadow Flare, dealing unavoidable room-wide damage. Lahabrea will then summon Fire Spheres, which you need to dodge away from as they explode in a small radius around themselves. The other Ascian will cleave a large portion of the room next with Grip of Night. When the next set of Fire Spheres are summoned, they will have tethers, which drag the spheres to one another slowly. Once they collide, they both explode in larger AoEs, so get far away. Now it's time for Ice Spheres. You'll need to be underneath these spheres to stay safe. End of Days, cast right after the first set of Ice Spheres, is a line AoE that the whole party should stand in. The second set of Ice Spheres will spawn now, 2 of which are tethered. Any tethered Ice Spheres will have a larger AoE, remember, so you do not want to remain underneath the untethered Ice Spheres, as the AoE from the tethered ones is going to be so large that it will not be safe. The bosses will now continue to use these same mechanics, which you'll need to be familiar with for the second phase. Ascian Prime will start out with Shadow Flare and the Tank Buster Height of Chaos. Dual Star will summon 3 sets of tethered spheres, 1 of which has a shorter tether. The shorter tether will go off first, so determine what you need to do by looking there. In this case, you know you will need to be underneath the Ice Spheres first. As soon as that goes off, run to avoid the enlarged fire AoEs. The second set goes off very quickly, so don't delay. Universal Manipulation will deal unavoidable room-wide damage and inflict everyone with 5 debuffs that cause different things to happen as they are approaching expiration. The first debuff to expire will cause giant donut AoEs to appear on everyone. Simply stack up middle to avoid any hassle, then be prepared to spread out a little to avoid the next set of AoEs on each player. Stand in the stack marker that appears next. When you see chains appear above your head, stack up middle while you wait for the burning chains debuff from earlier to wear off. As soon as it does, break the tether between you and your partner by running away from them until it snaps. After soaking another line AoE, the boss will cast Arcane Revelation, spawning a giant sphere for you to destroy. Dodge any AoEs from angry side Ascians while doing so. After this, it's repeat mechanics, so burn the boss down. Here is your boss recap. Feel free to pause for a quick reference. Congratulations on completion. Enjoy your journey, and don't worry, I got you for the next dungeon. Until next time.